Hey guys, it's Dan, your host, Judean's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead and Game of Thrones video. This one is going to be doing a video that I think is probably going to divide the audience quite a bit, because this is something that people have been asking me for a long time. Ever since Season 8 has started of Game of Thrones, and ever since Walking Dead Season 8 too, I think. And this is something that I really am shocked about when it comes to both The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, is that I think that honestly both of the 8 seasons of my two favorite shows, Walking Dead Season 8 and Game of Thrones Season 8, both are the weakest seasons ever, I do think. Now, Walking Dead, I think Season 7 is their weakest, but Season 8 is probably their second weakest season. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about what season of both of these shows is worse, Game of Thrones Season 8 or The Walking Dead Season 8. Because, now, in terms of the series, which one I like more, you guys know Walking Dead's my favorite show. That's why I'm never really going to do a video on what's better, Walking Dead or Game of Thrones. For me, Walking Dead is my favorite series. And you guys know, I mean, come on. Like, literally, Walking Dead threw up in here. This, you know, really. I mean, Walking Dead is my favorite series, but that's mainly because I'm a big fan of the universe overall. I'm a big fan of the regular TV series, of the, you know, just tons of the other stuff that they're going to be making, and also specifically that it's such a big franchise at this point. Game of Thrones is done. You got to remember that. Game of Thrones is done now, and people are really disappointed with the way it went. So, but people were also disappointed with the way The Walking Dead Season 8 went, so that's why I'm comparing them in this video. So, okay, so let's start with Walking Dead, my favorite one. Season 8 of The Walking Dead, of course, we got to see All Out War, we got to see Rick versus Negan, the Saviors, and basically, probably their biggest mistake they made in this season was Carl's death. Okay, so, Carl's death. Game of Thrones Season 8, we had the battle with the White Walkers for the first 3 episodes, kind of focusing on them and Winterfell and everything like that. And then the last 3 episodes focusing on King's Landing, Cersei, and Daenerys becoming our last villain for the last 2 episodes with, probably the biggest mistake of their Season 8 is probably what they did with Daenerys. So, you compare Carl's death to Daenerys. So, Daenerys turning into a villain, I think, is a big step for sure. And it was really rushed. Carl's death was pretty slow and pretty explained, and, you know, you went through a lot of episodes and we got to see Carl, you know, and his death and kind of his final moments throughout some of his last couple episodes in Season 8. So, we had time to get ready for Carl's death. They revealed he was bit in the mid-season finale and left it to the mid-season premiere, which is probably one of the worst decisions, but they did that. Daenerys, they literally just turned her into a villain in the last 2 episodes. Carl, they really focused on his death in Season 8. That was one of the biggest topics of Season 8, is Carl's death. So I actually think, if I have to say, what was the worst mistake? What they did with Daenerys in Season 8 and having her be a villain, or having Carl be killed off? I actually think Walking Dead did a better job, and I think that Carl's death was more explained, and it was more, it made sense more than Daenerys' death. Now, I don't like either one of these decisions, but Carl's death, I think if Carl was still alive, yeah, Walking Dead would be even better. I was talking to someone in the comment section below yesterday. There's so many people that comment, I forget, but yeah, there was, I was talking with someone yesterday, and we were talking about how, you know, Carl, if he was still in the show, yeah, it would be better. And I remember there was like, oh my god, like, seriously, why would AMC decide to do that? And it's like, yeah, really. But you gotta remember, Scott Gimple was running the show at that point. So, you know, there is that. But, yeah, in terms of those two, I think Walking Dead did a better job than just how quick Daenerys turned into a villain like that. Really, people argue still that that was not a villain move. I view it because she killed like 1 million people in a city with a dragon, but whatever. So, but people have their opinions on that. So, in terms of the season itself, I actually have to say, and especially with what they did with Bran at the end of Season 8 of Game of Thrones and just the way that that went, I think Walking Dead has a better season 8 than Game of Thrones. And honestly, I think Game of Thrones is season 8 is way more hated than how season 8 of The Walking Dead was hated. And people hated season 8 of The Walking Dead. I don't really understand why. It wasn't the worst season of a TV series ever. And I actually have to say, if I'm going to answer this video, I actually think that Walking Dead Season 8 did a better job with their 8th season than Game of Thrones. People, there's a petition now about them redoing Season 8. That'll probably never happen. But, like, when it gets to that point, because people are so disappointed with that season, that's when you know, okay, you've screwed up somewhere, you know? So, that's really my thoughts on it, but of course, what are your thoughts? I want to hear that in the comment section below. I'm going to end the video here. If you're new, of course, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of my Walking Dead or Game of Thrones videos, but I'm not sure how many more Game of Thrones videos I'm going to be doing. And of course, I will be back tomorrow with my Saturday Spotlight, so I'll catch you guys for that. Peace out.